Hello learners, welcome back to my channel. First of all, I would like to thank you all for such a good response and thank you very much for that. So let's start our next topic, that is priority scheduling. So in the series of operating system subject, we were covering the CPU scheduling topic, and in that topic we are here with the next scheduling algorithm, that is priority scheduling algorithm. This priority scheduling algorithm it is of two types, that is non-preemptive and preemptive, like other scheduling algorithm that we have seen in the previous videos. But what is different here with this two different types, it associate a priority with each process. See, so till the last question we have process numbers, arrival time and burst time. Now there will be another column which is the priority, which is assigning or associating a priority with each of these processes. So what will be the criteria? Now for scheduling, we will allocate the CPU to the process with the highest priority. So the process which is having the highest priority will be allocated to the CPU first. And if there is a tie between the processes which is having the same priority, again we will do it, or we will handle it using FCFS policy that we have done earlier also. Okay, so nothing else to discuss, just know that what is the criteria, because we only need the concept, that is the criteria which is required to schedule the processes. So the criteria here, it is priority. But there is one problem with this priority scheduling, because we are selecting the higher priority process. So what about the lower priority process in the ready queue? Those lower priority process will be waiting very long for the completion of the higher priority process, so that they can be allocated to the CPU to complete their task. So those processes will starve for the CPU, right? So what about those lower priority process? They will be lower always. Is there any criteria to increase their priority? So there is a solution, that is known as aging. So we increase the priority of the processes as time progresses. As the time progresses, we increase the priority of the process, and it is known as aging. So जैसे जैसे एज बढ़ते जाएगी और जितना टाइम बीतता जाएगा और वो पर्टिकुलर प्रोसेस जितना देर कंप्यूटर सिस्टम में वेट करेगा, उसकी एज बढ़ती जाएगी. एंड एज द एज इंक्रीजेज वी गिव प्रायोरिटी टू दैट senior citizens, right? So that is the aging policy. Okay, so let's do some examples on non-preemptive and preemptive priority scheduling. So let's perform non-preemptive priority scheduling. So here we have processes numbers, arrival time, burst time and priority is given. So let's schedule this first using non-preemptive scheduling. So at time 0, which process is there? See, at time 0 we have only one process, so there is no decision to be taken based on priority. So we will schedule process P1 directly. For how much time? Because it is non-preemptive by nature, the mode is non-preemptive, so the total time it wants to be executed in the CPU will be allocated to it. So it will be executed till time 11. Till time 11, P4 arrived at 2, P2 arrived at 5 and P5 arrived at 9. So there were 3 processes in the ready queue. Now the priority decision has to be taken. So which process to select? P2, P4 or P5? So here the priority is, see, the low is the number, the high is the priority. Okay, so the low is the number, the high is the priority. That means the high is the number, low is the priority. So it is given in the question that 0 is having the highest priority. So now P2 is having the highest priority. So we will allocate CPU the process P2 because it is having the highest priority among the processes available in the ready queue. And how much time it will take? The total 28 burst units it required. So 28 means, is it? And then till time 39 we have how many processes in the queue? All the processes, because Process P3 has also arrived till time 39. So let's schedule process. Which process to schedule next? Process P4. Why? Because the next higher priority the process P4 is having, and how much time it requires? 10 units, that means 49. And then process P1 already executed, so process P3 will be executed next for how much time? For 2 time unit, that means 49 plus 2, and then P5. So P5 requires 16 burst units, so it is 67. So in this way you can calculate or you can schedule the processes based on priority scheduling, that too non-preemptive. So if you want, you can calculate the completion time, then turnaround time, and then waiting time. Let's calculate. Completion time of process P1 is 11, P2 39, P3 51, P4 49, P5 it is 67. And then turnaround time is completion time minus arrival time. So 11 minus 0 is 11, 39 minus 5 is 34, 51 minus 12 39, 49 minus 2 47, 67 minus 9 is 58. Okay, and waiting time is turnaround time minus burst time, so it is 0, 34 minus 28 is 6, then 39 minus 2 is 37, 47 minus 10 is 37, 58 minus 16 is 2 and 4, 42, right? So in this way you can calculate all those things, and average waiting time can be calculated by adding average turnaround time is add all this thing divided by the total number of processes, that is 5, you will get the average turnaround time. In the same way, average waiting time can also be calculated here. Okay, so what is the average turnaround time? Let's calculate and comment that in the comment box.